We all get flooded with emotions, but here it is. It's not that we get flooded with emotions. It's how you respond to the emotions you get flooded with. Okay. See, some of us have joy, but don't even know it because we've been flooded with so many emotions that we can't realize the reality of God's joy operating in our lives. So sometimes you need God to put a tracking device on your joy. So that when you can't seem to find enough joy when you wake up in the morning, you need to hit the button so that your joy can start beeping so that you'll know where to find it. Okay. Some of us don't need a tracking device. Some of us need GPS. Because we passed joy somewhere. We passed it. We saw it. We recognized it when we saw it. We passed it. But get this, y'all. We don't remember where it is. So sometimes you need to have a GPS system to tell you where you are and where your joy is. So that you can get directions from where you are to where your joy is. Would you tell somebody, say you need to go down straight street, make a right by the big boulder that's on the corner, go down to the next light, hang a left, and there you'll find your joy. Tell somebody you need some directions on where your joy is. Then some of us, we're just snowed under. We're just under piles of emotions, piles of feelings, anger and malice and hatred and jealousy and greed. And we just got so much on us that, get this, y'all, we need a bulldozer. A shovel. We need teams of people to help dig us out. We need backhoes, and we need dynamite. We need sticks of TNT. We need excavators to come move some of the layers of emotions that we've had to deal with so that we can dig up our joy. Can I tell somebody this morning that I've come in here on assignment from heaven to tell you that the joy that you think you're experiencing, God has more for you? Can I tell somebody who's allowed their joy to go dormant? Can I tell somebody who's allowed too much stuff to be piled on your joy that you don't have to worry about whether or not God has joy for you? God wants to give you more joy than you've ever had. Oh, that should be good news for somebody. That should be good news for somebody. I know you have some joy in your heart, but listen, if you have a quarter tank of joy, you ought to be asking the Lord for half a tank of joy. If you have half a tank of joy, you ought to be asking the Lord for 3/4 tank of joy. If you have 3/4 tank of joy, you ought to be asking the Lord to fill your tank with joy. If you have a full tank of joy, you ought to be asking the Lord to give you an overflow of joy. Pastor, what are you talking about? I'm talking about no matter what measure of joy you have in your heart, God is saying this morning that there's room for more. Tell somebody you ain't smiled your last smile. You ain't jumped your last jump. You ain't shouted your last shout. You ought to be excited that God still has more joy for you.